Like, man, we ran the city. You know what I mean? We ran the city.
No, that's unfair.
Right.
I mean, I was proud that we weren't close in that city.
Nah.
By the dean of high school basketball coaches.
The dean.
I ain't care nothing about Jack, though.
Told the young lady, I said, he definitely married up. You're 27, is that correct?
So it hurt because I'm human,
Yeah,
right?
rightfully so.
But I'm going to give you more to hate. Just stay tuned.
You gonna get your first one tonight. Give me the rock. We're gonna stop and get some chicken.
Right.
So we laugh about that. You ride with me, gonna get that chicken.
Yeah. Did you ever heard that story that the scouts were coming?
Came to
see him.
and saw Willie Mays.
They'll come on Wednesday to catch me.
Team they went to, we don't beat them 4 out of 5 times, so maybe they'll help them out.
Thompson is overtaking Hoover. There's no question that Thompson is taking over.
They got the best blacks, and they got the best whites.
Wow. Coach, what's good, man? What's
on,
good? Mike Steele.
I'm in the building.
Man, we
In the building.
we laughing at the intro.
Man, you got some legends on. I see Maurice Ford on there. You know something's coming.
Man, Coach give you what you want.
Yeah, he will.
That boy dropping some bombs.
Coach, man, listen, thank you. Thanks for coming out. We know this is a hectic week for you. So I can't say thank you enough for that.
Thank you for having me. Anytime I can get anywhere and talk about our program and kids, I'm going to do it.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. And we want to give you that platform as often as we can. It's funny. You're not in Spain Park, but you left J.O. and one of those clips, they were talking about Coot Willis. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The old story was the scouts were coming to see him, but Willie Mays made 2 basket catches. So that's what Maurice was talking about on that. Mr. Willis will let you know that in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Coot was the mayor of Fairfield, and I know his son, Dr. Willis.
Yeah.
We know them well.
Yeah, good stuff. Mike, man, we got Coach, and I can say the name, Tim Vakakes.
Vakakes.
Yeah.
It's spelled like it sounds, though, actually.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
I'm
like a cactus without the T.
Yeah.
right. And the thing is, I'm like, it's not that hard to say, but they
A lot of people mess it up,
Call
huh?
you Coach V. Is
That's
that
it. You can't mess that up.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
V for victory.
I don't know about that.
So they use V
For-
as an alternative to Vakakes.
Instead of enunciating the man's name.
I mean, like, even I can pronounce that.
I've been called a whole lot worse, so whatever.
Inside joke.
Right.
They get on me. Tell us, hold
He's
on.
made up some words before. So, Coach, man, I'm sure the folks can see, you're no stranger to that weight room. Is that correct?
Well, I try to keep up with these kids. I mean, I'm breaking down, but I think if I ever quit trying to work out,
You look like me.
then I'll be break. I got it messed up elbows, shoulders. I got hernias. I got it all. So if I ever stop, I'm gonna fall apart. So
Yeah.
just got to keep moving.
Right. Coach, you making the coaches hit the weight room?
No.
I talked with Coach Taylor over that. I said, man, he said, man, he's a workout warrior. I said, man, he got you in there. He said, not yet.
Yeah, no. I just try to keep myself moving. That's all.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Great thing.
So off season, you in there with them? I mean, you
I'm in
know
there
the
every day
boys?
with them. Oh, I'm.
Wow.
If the kids are lifting, I'm in there with them. Like it's
Okay.
off season. I mean, I've just never believed in outsourcing that. I think because I think in the weight room is where your program starts. And I think you build a culture and a heartbeat in that weight room. And we train 4 days a week in season. We got our 4th lift in today, so we're gonna max next week. Like we max probably twice during the season, and we're gonna live 4 days a week. And I'm gonna be in there with them.
So, you got a question, Mike?
No. I wanted to kind of take one step back and say, Coach is in the building.
Yeah.
Give That's all I want to do.
Okay.
Acknowledge him.
Yeah, he's definitely in here. Coach, the off season. So, what does that look like for y'all over there? Like this, because this was
This is our first full season of a full off season going into the season. So this December will be 2 years.
Okay.
So I got there last December, so we cranked up last January. So we had an off season, but this is kind of like a full year doing what we do. And like I said, we're in there 4 days a week. When we first got there, we had about 8 or 9, maybe 10 kids power clean 225. And at some point last season, we got up to 51.
Really?
We did. And then we had some kids graduate, and we lost a handful of those. We went down to like high 20s, and we built ourselves back up to high 40s of kids power cleaning 225. You know, because every team's gonna have their strong guys.
Right, right.
But we feel like if you have a team full of guys that are strongest, they can be individually.
Right.
Now you got a chance. You know, and I tell our kids we train like a heavyweight. Every heavyweight champion or every heavyweight boxer, I should say, has their favorite punch, whether it be uppercut or jab or whatever. But the champions have chins, and I feel like on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, month-to-month, year-to-year, we were in that weight room to build that chin, and I feel like our kids have, and we got some good players, got some great coaches, and so far so good.
I hear you. So coming out of summer, coming out of 7-on-7, and you 2 games into the season, did you see during off-season workouts, during pre-7-on-7, some kids that you knew were just going to be players for you this year?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good summer. We, in the Hoover the national 7-on-7, we made it all the way to the finals and got beat. We were runner-ups in the national tournament. And went to Troy, went to the semis, and went to Sanford and got beat in the championship. So we felt like we had some, pretty good skill on offense, and we felt like we'll be able to throw the ball around a little bit more this year than we have been. But, so we had a good idea, but, it's way too early to start talking about how good we are yet, because Hoover don't care about any of that, and Thompson and Vestavia, the next 3 opponents, none of them care about that.
Murderous row.
Oh man, it's gonna be tough.
So in the 7-on-7, Hoover's national, did you guys play Hoover?
We did not. We did not. We didn't cross over with them. Once we played one day and we went 7-0, I think. So we were in the upper bracket.
Okay.
We were the 3 seed coming out into the bracket play, and we won a few and got to the finals and got beat. But we didn't play them. We saw them.
Okay.
They got some talent. They got some young kids. They got a quarterback that can throw it, and the Winston kid's really good.
James'
little brother, and so they've got good players. So they it's gonna be tough Friday night.
Okay. Coach, lighten the mood. You ever got ejected from a game?
One time. All right, so 2006, Lawson Field. Okay.
So I got
I'm gonna drop the bomb on that.
All right. So 06, right? We're playing Woodlawn at Lawson Field. We were at Fairfield.
Yeah.
And one of our kids, it was actually one of our kids' fault. He was like blindside blocked late on our sideline into one of the kids from Woodlawn. He's a big kid. Well, the big kid, after he gets hit, kind of turns and hits Pop. My dad was head coach, and kind of knocked Pop down. Well, after he knocked Pop down, he looked. He kind of stood over him and just kind of shook his head. Right? He didn't mean to do it, obviously. Yeah. But when he shook his head on our sidelines kind of erupted, right? Yeah. So our coaches did a great job of keeping our kids back.
Right,
we were throwing them back, whatever. And I guess the referees took off. They were gone, right? They if we didn't do it, nobody was going to do it, right?
Wow.
So we were in the middle of it, and
their job.
Yes. So I guess in the middle of the stuff, I guess I said profanity. Maybe, I don't know. So
just a little bit.
They threw me out of the game. Their whole sideline's emptied, and we got 4 penalties. So we were 1st and 70. All right. Their whole sideline's empty now. And our sideline.
Woodlawn.
Chain crew dropped it. I mean, just everybody, right? So we were keeping our kids back. So I guess because I used profanity, they ran me, tossed me. So I was a little bit younger then, and so once the crowd knew I got tossed, I started walking, and the crowd started getting loud because they realized I got kicked out. Right. Well, my adrenaline gets going, so I'm getting the crowd up. I felt like Bobby Knight.
Right.
I was looking for a daggone chair to throw, kick a cooler over or something. Bobby Knight. Yeah, I felt like it. So the crowd erupted. I'm getting them. I mean, it was a mess. But anyway, so I go off Lawson Field, and I go cut up with the cops. The cops down there by the entrance. So I kind of cut up with them, and I hid between the ticket booths. Right. So I hid between the ticket booth. I had my headsets, had the play card. So I was calling plays from the almost the parking lot. So our guy that was filming in between plays one time, was filming our plays, and then the very next clip was me he got me in between the daggum things hiding, calling plays from the back, almost in the parking lot.
Oh
So,
my God!
I've gotten tossed before. That was the only time,
Hilarious.
but it was a good time.
I was told to ask you that by Kendrick Henderson.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the only time. I probably should have been tossed in baseball a couple more times because I coached baseball at Fairfield.
Okay.
But that was the only time I actually got ran.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and that takes me into man, that's my guy. Tomorrow night, Fairfield will be honoring your dad. Talk about
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, Pop's first job out of Auburn University in '71 was at Fairfield.
Okay.
Well, my first job in 2002 was at Fairfield.
Wow.
And I remember he came and found me. I was at Auburn spring of '01, my senior year at Auburn, and I was working out, and he just surprised me, pulled up at Auburn and was parked by my truck, and I came out of the gym, and he was here. I'm like, Pop, what are you doing? And he said, son, you got the Fairfield job.
Wow.
And I'm like, really? He said, yeah. I said, when can I start? He said, I've talked to him, So I jumped in there with him, and that was 11 good years, man. And the thing about it, from 1969 to the year 2000, 31 years at Fairfield, there were 11 coaches. So you do the math, right?
Right.
Pop was there for 11. And I think and it wasn't all fun and games early on now.
Right.
We lost 14 games in a row. We lost the first year we were 3-7, so we lost the last 2 of our first season, all 10 of our second season, 0-10, and then the first 2 of the third season. So that's 14 games in a row we lost.
That's a lot.
Oh man, it's
I
tough.
mean, when you're talking
Tough.
about trying to reestablish a culture,
Tough.
And
one thing I can say about him is he was the same guy when we were 0-10 than he was when we were 11-2. He treated people the same. He treated our kids the same, opposing coaches the same, parents the same, and there was a lot of great memories there. A lot of great memories of those kids, and those kids were able to do something there that hadn't been done before and hadn't been done since. And the fact that they're bringing him back, all these years later to honor him is special for him and our family, and I'm looking forward to seeing all those guys, and it's a great community. We really miss those people.
Wow, man, that's amazing, and I'm glad they were working with you guys. I know you have a huge one on Friday.
We do,
and for them to, from what I heard, they moved it to tomorrow night.
They did. They tried to find a time when we didn't play on Thursday, and tried to find one of their opponents that would move it. And John Carroll, they were happy to move it, and so it's gonna be fun tomorrow night seeing all those old former kids.
Wow, who
are now adults.
Yeah. So, Coach, you spent 11 years at Fairfield, and you go on to
Macador.
Macador.
I was at Macador for 1 year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Pop retired in 11, of December of 11, and in my mind, in my plan, I want to stay at Fairfield. I don't want to go nowhere. But God has, you think you got it all planned out, and you think you know where you need to be and where you want to be, and God closes the door and says, that's not it. It's not your time. So I went to Macador for 1 year with Coach David Powell, and we went to the finals. Championship game. It was a great memory and great experience to be with him. And I got a call in the third round. I got a call on a Monday. Said, if or when Jackson Nolan job comes open, would you be interested? Obviously being at Fairfield for that long, I was very, aware of the surroundings, and I knew a lot about J.O. and Birmingham. And I said, yeah, I didn't hesitate. Let's do it. Yeah. If it ever comes open, call me. I'm ready to roll.
At Macador, what was
so I came in to kind of be the offensive coordinator.
Okay.
To do a lot of the Wildcat stuff that we did, but our quarterback Desmond Harris that went to Mississippi State got hurt in the jamboree. So once he got hurt, kind of went back to doing what Macador always did. So I was the quarterback coach, and I learned a lot under Coach Powell, and that was a great staff he had, and I just kind of, found a role and coached the crap out of the quarterbacks the best I could, and we went 14-1, and Coach Powell did a great job with that program. But I really enjoyed my time there.
Good deal. Okay. So then you go to Jackson Nolan.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I got a call. We were getting ready for our quarterfinal game at Macador, and I got a call on that Monday night. I'll never forget. I was in a McDonald's drive-thru, and I got a call. Didn't know who it was.
Big Mac, huh?
No, back then it was probably a salad.
Oh, coach.
Now
it's a Big Mac,
oh,
coach.
man,
Hey, that's what we in the quarterfinal. Big Mac coach.
Now it's probably 2 10-pack nuggets and a large fry, but a Diet Coke, right?
Okay,
Right.
gotcha, coach.
But no, I got that call, and they asked me, you know, if you were interested, you know, because I think the year before, I was trying to, you know, I was up for the Huffman job, and didn't you know, again, God had other plans, and they said, I know what happened at Huffman, and if you don't want to, if you say no to Birmingham, you know, we'll never call you again. We respect it. I said, no, let's do it. You know, it wasn't my time then. And maybe,
Wait a minute. Now, you said if what now? If you say no to a Birmingham.
Well, so.
We're
All
gonna
right,
beat
so
that.
I interviewed at Huffman,
Right.
And I got a call that you know, to come in and do your paperwork. Congratulations, you're on the board agenda for Tuesday. It was a Friday, and I got a call from a buddy in Birmingham on Monday night because I knew everybody. Got a call on Monday night, said, hey, you know, you're no longer on the agenda.
Right.
They swapped it up, you know. So I said, well, it is what it is. It ain't my time, you know. So. You know, and there was no hard feelings. I mean, it was a situation that was way out of my control, you know. But so that's what he meant. And he said, you know, if you're burnt, if you're mad, I said no. That's
okay.
you know, that's what he meant.
Okay.
You know, we understand what happened. Would you? I said no. Let's do it. If this is my time, if this is my opportunity, let's roll. So we jumped in head first, man, at JO in 2013.
Who makes those calls? I mean, who is that the Birmingham athletic director, or is this the principal of a particular school? You know, Huffman, or
you know, I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, who reached out when they did reach out from JO?
It was a community member that was somebody ID'd him to say, hey, help us find a coach.
Gotcha.
You know, so that's kind of who it was. And
so, but you would interview.
Oh yeah, I interviewed in front of the principal, the AD, some other people at Jackson Nolan. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were just kind of gauging my interest.
Gotcha.
And when I got the call, I said, let's do it. That stuff don't scare me. Let's do it.
Man, Coach, that is so. I mean, the fact that you mentioned Huffman, I don't know if you saw Coach Probst's show, but you know he had actually reached out to them about.
I know he did.
Okay.
Recently.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That is funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But no, God, and again, when God closes the door, you know, because I tell the kids now, we do a devotion every day, and sometimes you make a plan and you think you got it all figured out, and God throws a curveball. You just got to swallow it, and you might be upset at that moment, but you know, and years later, you look back and you're glad He closed that door, and that's kind of how it is.
Right. So 9 years. Wait a minute.
9
years
Yeah, man.
at Jackson Nolan. Let's talk about JO.
So when I first got there, you know, they told me the same thing they told Pop when he went to Fairfield. What are you doing? Like, why are you going to jail? Like, what? I know you want to be a head coach. You feel like you're ready and all that.
Right.
Why? And I said, look, if you look at the neighborhoods that feed Jackson Nolan, Central Park, Inslee, Wylam, Dolomite, Pratt, there's so much talent in those communities. When I first got there were 6 Little League community parks within our zone.
Wow.
I went to every one of them. I was always at East Inslee. I was always at Pratt. I'd go to Wylam to watch Coop. They were playing at behind Brentwood, the Academy in Hueytown. That's where they played their home games. I'd go there. East Inslee, AG. Like I was always, that was in our community. Right. We had 5 middle schools that fed JO at the time. They played football. So I knew what they were sitting on, and but I knew things were gonna have to change. And the best players in those communities, they weren't going to JO. And I'm not the type of guy that just gonna say, well, if they don't want to play for here, they don't want to play for us. You know, let them go somewhere. Well, no, I mean, that's not me.
You got to plug the.
You got to build relationships with people, and you got to build relationships with parents, and they got to see you. And that's what I did. I just jumped in, and I was
That's
told,
important.
oh man,
Relationship building.
You have to.
Very important.
And I told the little leagues, I told the middle schools.
That's the key.
I don't even care about plays. Like I'm not sitting here trying to teach all our offense, defense. That's not it. I want to build relationships with you. And we jumped in head of steam and full head of steam. And I was told, you're not going to win. You're not going to have the kids. If they have if there are the kids there, it's going to be hard to get them to stay. If they do stay, they're not going to qualify. If they do qualify, nobody's going to know they're there. So all the things that people told me about not going to JO, it just fueled me. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear it, because I was told in 2003 at Fairfield, we finally went 5-5, made the playoffs. Some buddies of mine were coaching over the mountain school. Not going to name it. Well, they took me out, and they were trying to get me to come join them at that over the mountain school. And I'm 23 at the time.
Oh, you young buck.
Yeah, man, I was young, and they tried to get me to come with them, and it was about a $10,000 raise, 15 maybe. And they said, you know, there's a ceiling there at Fairfield. Like y'all might win some games, but you're never going to win, like, you know, consistently 7-8 games a year.
Wow.
And I knew what we were sitting on at Fairfield. I know, like, we had good players coming back. Well, that very next year we go 11-2. We averaged 9 wins for the next however many years, go playoffs 9 years in a row.
Wow.
We won 11, 10, 10. So our kids at Fairfield believed, and they changed the program.
Yeah.
So all the things that people were telling me we weren't going to do at JO, man, those kids did it. The community did it. You know, we had 4 All-Americans come out of there in a row. Everybody's like, where are these kids coming from? They've been here.
Yeah, you got to invest in them.
They've been here. You know, you know, like I said, there's plenty of people in Birmingham who may not like me too much.
Because you mentioned earlier,
I don't lose no sleep over it.
You mentioned earlier that you were told that you weren't going to be able to keep them, or they weren't going to be able to qualify. Speak on that, keeping them. What you mean keeping them?
Well, you know, it's for so long, people were coming in JO and just plucking the kids out of there, just taking them, you know. And I said, it's going to stop. So we had a meeting at one point with all head coaches and ADs, and I stood up in that meeting early on when I first got there. I said, guys, look, here's the deal. I understand there's probably agreements between coaches and schools that if I get a kid from your zone 1 year out of 8th grade, you're not going to turn me in, because the next year you might get one of mine. There might be an agreement. And I said, there may be. But please, everybody in this room understand, with Jackson Olin football, there is no agreement. I'm telling y'all that as a man right now. There is no agreement. So if you come into ours and do what you've been doing, that's your choice. But I'm telling you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to y'all's. You'll never see me at y'all's middle school games. You'll never see me at y'all's middle school trying to talk to kids. You'll never see me in y'all's community watching y'all's little league. You're absolutely going to see me at our middle schools and at our little leagues.
Right.
You know, so I've been called a snitch. I've been called all kinds of things. But like I told them, there's a difference. To be a snitch, you throw a rock and you hide your hands.
Yeah. But
a man tells you what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He does it, and then he tells you he did it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to say it's a snitch, that's on you.
Right.
That's on you, but you knew it.
That's a bad definition of a snitch, though.
That you knew it. So, I've sat in meetings with important people, and I was the only one in the room fighting. But I was right, and I knew it, and I stood on it.
Yeah.
But then they were like, "Wait a minute, he told y'all, that he had this, and he was going to do that."
What's the
They
problem?
just said, "So what are we meeting about?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are we here?"
Make it make sense.
So at some point, it had to change.
Right.
But like I told you earlier, you know, we're going to fight to keep our kids, but you got to give the kids a reason and their families to want to be there.
Right.
You can say all day, "Oh, we're going to keep them." They got to want to be there.
Yeah.
You got to love on them. You got to be consistent. They got to know you care about them as a person.
Yeah.
And you got to build relationships. And like I told you earlier, IMG's reached out to some kids in the past. As soon as they did, the kids screenshot it, sent it to me. Well, that stopped. Here at Spain Park, we got a kid that IMG reached out to. He screenshot it, sent it to me. I made a call, it stopped. But when you got kids coming to you saying, "Hey, coach," you know, everybody knows if you try to get one of our kids and I get a hold of it,
It's going to be repercussion.
you're done.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. If you find me recruiting one of your kids, do the same thing.
Yeah.
Do the same thing.
Hey, what's good for the...
That's what I mean about keeping our kids. We have to have a culture. We did it at Fairfield. We did it at JO. And we're in the beginning stages at Spain Park of getting our kids wanting to be together.
That is amazing. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the story was when you went to Spain Park. I I was hearing it. So for you to come out and so vehemently speak against it, they was like, well, he's gonna be taking a bunch of kids from over there, But the fact that you, and I know if you've come out against it, and if you tried to do it, I'm sure there's folks will be willing to be all out the windows trying to
This is year 23. Nobody's even uttered the word because I don't do it. We had 2 running backs that came from JO. There was an article about them today. They came last year. When I got approved at Spain Park, the mama called and said, Coach, we're coming. I deliver mail in Hoover. It's right by I said, Miss Tiffany, please don't do that. Like, I don't want it to look like all these kids are just following them. Like, I love J.O. Like, give them a chance. Give whoever they hire. Just give them a chance. Like, that's not a good look. I don't want that look to be on me.
Yeah, because you totally against it.
I don't, because I love J.O.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just all these kids like, because that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
So I talked her out of it. It was December. I talked her out of it. I said, give whoever they hire, give them a chance. Because I love the principal, Dr. Nicole Williams, one of my favorite people in this world. She's the principal at JO right now. And I told her, I said, look, here's the deal. I told them do not leave. And so they stayed. They went through off season. They went through spring. And after spring, the mama said, Coach, we're coming. I said, well, I put them in touch with our AD, our principal. They told them exactly what they had to do, and they followed the rules. So kids leave. We have kids move into Spain Park, out of Spain Park. Like, kids are always going to be moving. Families are going to move.
Right.
Some for reasons, we never know.
Right.
We lost 2 kids this offseason from Spain Park's program. They really good young players, 10th graders. They're playing at 2 area schools, but there was nothing shady about it. One of them went back to where he was from. The family moved back, and one kid, his mom got remarried. So, like, there was no issues with that. I didn't have any issues with it.
Right.
People move in and out. Families move. But to have a lot of kids from the same, go to the same spot all of a sudden, it is what it is. But I don't know. That's a touchy subject with me because at JO, like, I stood on it.
Right.
And there's people that don't like it. But those kids at JO, those parents at JO knew how we ran business. And that's exactly what we're doing at Spain Park.
Right.
No different.
And how those coaches, when you played against some of those coaches that may not have liked that, how is that pregame conversation? How's the postgame?
Look, I mean, I've been in this business a long time myself. I was around it my whole life with my dad, and he treated people the same way. And I remember when we first got to Fairfield, the couple of coaches that were so nice to us, Jimmy Tice at West End and Cedric Blair, they were so nice to us. And a lot of guys were nice when we weren't real good.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden, the rabbit's got the gun now, and now we're bad guys. That's just how life is.
Right.
So I don't take it personal. All the guys we coached against, man, I don't have anything against any of them.
Right.
None of them. I mean, if I see them right now, I'll hug them and laugh about it. But to build our program at JO, that's what I was responsible for doing.
Right.
That's what I was going to do, and that's what we're doing at Spain Park. So I don't have anything against anybody.
Right.
But it stopped.
Okay.
My goal was to make it stop,
right.
and
it stopped.
And it stopped. So that's just, I don't know. I think when you try to do things the right way, I came up under my dad and Bob Newton at Homewood, Gerald Gann, and just guys that I felt like did it right. And it's not as easy now.
Right.
Oh, it's you graduated quarterback, a tailback, and a safety, and you go find a quarterback, tailback, and a safety. That's a whole lot easier than developing what you got. Yeah. So it's not as easy, and it takes a little bit longer. But I feel like it can be done.
Wow. So, Coach, in 9 years, you mentioned earlier, I want you to tell the audience, how hard was it leaving?
Man, it was brutal, man. 9 years worth being there and seeing what those kids did.
Yeah. I ain't getting
The
that.
work they put in there.
That's it, Coach.
Yeah.
That's the love, baby. That's the love.
Yeah. That's the passion.
That's the love and the passion.
Yeah.
Crying on Wednesday night.
Man, I think he's the third one.
Yeah, man. We somehow bring that up. No, just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Damn, so I'm the first?
Yeah. No, he's not the first.
Third.
Tell me
the
the third. Tell me
You're the
Maurice
third.
got up here and cried. What'd Maurice cry about? Somebody stole his championship ring?
Right.
First time I saw him after he won that ring, he had it on. He just walked across the gym like this. So somebody get Maurice. No, but look, J.O., man, those kids did a lot of things, and the parents did a lot of things, and
That's home, baby.
A lot of hard work over there, I can tell.
Yeah.
that's tough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think I got no.
I don't need nothing.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. It's all good, baby.
Right.
It's all good, baby.
Let's get over that. Let's get over that.
Let's
No,
move.
but I mean, look, I love the place. It's funny now because the head coach now, Walter Jordan, BJ, he is one of our old guys at Fairfield. He played for us baseball and football. So he's going to do a good job. He's the interim guy because I know Coach Best got moved. He's in the Army, so he got put overseas.
Okay.
But he
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
He got called overseas. But Walter Jordan is now the head coach, the interim guy, and they got Josh Stillings. They got a lot of good guys over there, and he's going to do a good job, man.
Wow.
He's going to do a real good job. I'm pulling for him. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and I'll do all I can for him.
How does that look? I mean, are they still keeping the similar system that what you were?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's 2 years. It's 2 years removed, so I don't know what they're doing.
Gotcha.
But I know I talked to the guy at Hartselle, who they just played last week, and he's a friend of mine. I said, how'd it go when they played last week? And he said, Coach, you be proud of them. They never quit. So that's a testament to Walter Jordan and his staff and Dr. Williams and just what they're trying to do over there. So I think they'll get it back. I mean, it's the dynamics have changed in Birmingham. Kind of now the I guess for those 9 years where we started getting J.O. rolling, J.O. wasn't supposed to be like that. And I was told when we got a Jumbotron on campus, I was told that it had to come down because everybody else didn't have one. And so it's J.O. wasn't supposed to do that, and we knew that. It was we were fighting a few things along the way, but I hope they get it back. I know Henry Pope does a really good job as an AD, and I think he's a J.O. alum.
Really?
Yeah. So I think he's gonna let them do it right. But I know Walt's gonna do a good job, and those kids. I know what's in that community, and they just got to get behind him and rally the troops. They got to get numbers back up. I think numbers are down, and they got a great facility. They got new turf and all that, so they got everything they need.
Wow.
So
You mentioned Henry Pope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he went the miles with me.
Yeah, he did. I heard he couldn't tackle.
Oh no, he played ball.
No,
Matter
I
of
know
fact,
he
I
did.
pledged him. I'm a Sigma. If I better
Okay,
say.
yeah.
He's a Sigma too. I pledged him.
So Pope was on the interview committee when I interviewed.
Okay.
He was the AD at Winona at the time. Yeah. So we've known Pope a long time. He's a good person, man.
Good guy.
He's I don't know if Birmingham knows how lucky they are to have him.
Yeah.
I think they know, but I don't think they really know. He's about as golden of a person as you can get. A good leader. He protects Birmingham.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves Birmingham.
He loves it.
He is going to protect Birmingham, and that's what he's supposed to do.
Right.
Yep.
So I think he's a rising star, and he's just a really good person who really supported us the whole time.
And you say he went to jail?
He's
Yeah,
a
he went to
J.O.
jail.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I heard he couldn't tackle though. Tell him I said it.
Oh boy, what time I talk to him? He probably watching now. No, we ain't lying.
So, Coach, and over there, you had a few. Talk about those kids that went on to the next level, and just basically, how did that come to fruition?
So about the third year, once we started kind of turning the corner a little bit, and I saw the talent that we had, I knew the program was about to change on the field. But I told myself the last thing that we're going to do at J.O. is have these kids help us win games, but have nowhere to go.
Right.
So I dove into transcripts. Because I knew it, but I really didn't know it that well on what the kids had to have to qualify for the next level.
Right.
Because if we had all these kids that are working their butts off, winning games, but then when their time at J.O. is up, they have nowhere to go, like, what are we really doing?
Right.
So we had kids that were pretty talented. We had our first All-American was Tadarian Moultrie, TD. He graduated in 17. So the 16 was a senior year, went 8-3, and he went to Auburn. He was an All-American, played in the Army All-American game in San Antonio. And anytime we went to San Antonio or Orlando, wherever, I always raised money and sent our coaches. So they flew me out there to San Antonio for the game, and I rented one of those Cruise America RVs for our coaches. Mm-hmm. So they drove, they took turns driving to San Antonio just because I wanted those coaches to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So we got pictures of all of us on the field, all the coaching staff with TD in San Antonio. And so he was our first one, and he went to Auburn. We had an All-American the next year. Connis Miller played in the Under Armour game in Orlando. Okay. So I got all the coaches. We hopped and got to Orlando.
Okay.
the next year we had Vontae Bentley, went to Clemson, was an All-American. And then in 2019, 20, Quindarius Robinson was an Army All-American, played in the game in San Antonio, and I was actually assistant coach on that for that team for the East. And he's still at Bama now as a senior.
Okay.
And he got a sack the other day, so I was hooting and hollering for him. But, you got A.J. Toney who went to Sanford. We had a handful of kids go to Miles. We had kids go a lot of places out of there.
Okay.
So these kids got a chance to, Bug Holmes graduated from Campbellsville up in, I believe, Kentucky. So we've had a handful of kids get out of there and go off to get their education.
Wow.
And that's the fun part about it.
Right,
That's the fun part when you see kids put in the work, they win games, they're successful in high school, but yet they have somewhere to go. Mm-hmm. And I took pride in all of our kids. We had 4 All-Americans, all 4 of them qualified. We had these kids. A.J. Toney went to Sanford, had a 26 in his ACT, had an offer from Columbia.
Wow.
He qualified at Sanford. So he's entered the portal. He played against Bama this past weekend in Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
So we've got, we've had kids go off a lot of places, and, we're proud of that.
Right,
we're proud of those kids,
Wow. So really taking care of them on the field and off the field.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah. Good stuff. You were talking about feeder program.
Mm-hmm.
And, you said, what year did it happen? Would you be able to go down to, say, some of the middle schools and say, hey, here's some of the things?
Oh, day one.
Okay.
I got approved on April 28th, maybe, or something like that. That was a Tuesday. Well, Wednesday morning I took off and I went to all 5 of our feeder schools that next day.
Wow.
And I said, we got to start building relationships, because I was the first group. We lost a couple of kids out of that middle school class with other places, but after that we quit losing them. And so I would have to go to Southampton games, Bush Hills, Wylam, and there was one more. We had 5 feeder middle schools. Mm-hmm. Green Acres.
Okay.
So at the time, we had 5 schools that played football. Well, as the years went by and they consolidated schools, it went down to like 2 or 3. So about 2000 and I'm going to say 19-ish, I came up with the idea. I said, all right, all these kids from Green Acres, from Southampton, all these schools, they're coming to us. So we have 3 small schools that have like 20 kids on it, 3 or 4 coaches. Let's combine them. Mm-hmm. Make it J.O. Middle. Mm. So now instead of 18 kids on a team, now you got a team full of 55, 60 kids and 7, 8 coaches. So we combined them, and they played under our umbrella. We provided them with anything they needed. They were J.O. Middle. Wow. So they practiced at Bush Hills, and we combined them. In the very first year we combined them, they won the championship. And it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
It just did. But I was there to do what I thought was best for Jackson Older.
Right.
So we put them together, and we had a J.O. Middle School, and they won the championship. And the very next year,
they never had a middle school before.
They all played separately.
Yeah.
I said, let's put them together, because you go to Hoover or all these other places, Gardendale, they got middle schools that feed them one team.
Right.
We had 5 teams. So I said, let's put them together. So we did, and they won the championship.
So you put 3 of them together? Or?
So it consolidated schools. So we had Southampton, Green Acres, and Bush Hills.
Okay.
Because they closed down Bush. Wylam, they turned into a K-5 maybe. Oh, okay. So it was all the middle school age kids at Southampton, Green Acres, and Bush Hills.
Right.
K-8. So we put all those kids together.
Right.
So we had about 55, 60 kids that first year, and we had a bunch of coaches, and those kids got a lot better. Right. Dale Simmons was the head coach, and they won the championship. Okay. And the next year they did it again.
Wow.
All right. So, like I said, people didn't like it, and they said, they put 5 schools together. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Birmingham Board of Education consolidated them to 3 anyway. Right. So we just took those 3 and put them together. Well, now Parker's got a middle school team. Woodlawn's got a middle school team under the name
and what
Parker.
They should have had all along.
100%. Absolutely. There's no doubt. And so that's all we did. But now that I think I've heard that J.O. for whatever reason has split theirs back up. So I don't know. I'm sure there's more to it than I know of. I don't know.
Right.
But I thought that just made a lot of sense. Put our kids together. They're going to be playing with each other in 9th grade, 10th grade, and it builds like that team in middle school.
Right.
You know, and so that's kind of what we did, and I think it really helped.
That's hilarious.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Man, y'all got me crying. I just thought y'all got me crying on Wednesday, man.
Coach,
I
man.
didn't come on the podcast, y'all, to get emotional.
Right.
Hey, look, here's the deal. I'm Greek. I'm very passionate.
Yeah.
But y'all don't have to do that. Come on, man.
Coach, man, but to have passion like that, that shows me and everybody else that, man, you care about that community, man.
Right.
But you said that since day one, Coach.
We did.
Since you've been in this building.
We did. I mean, that's all I know, man. All I know is just do it how Pop did, and guys that I feel like did it right.
And just to say this too, my son played ball. His son played ball. If we got a coach that care about the kids the way you do, you want them to go to a place like that.
Yeah.
You want to go to a coach that care about the kids, care about the community, care about me personally stealing kids, building your community, building what you have at home.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's important, man.
Yeah. And what's crazy is the fact that you're looking at a situation where I want somebody to care like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see it. You know.
Yeah.
Shit, well, you probably, hey.
I'm Greek, man. We wear our hearts on our sleeves, and my wife does too. My little girl does too. I mean, my little boy, that's just, I don't know, good or bad, indifferent. I don't know. I'm not a real smart guy, but I do care about what I care about.
Right.
Well, in my family, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm the emotional one in my house. I'm like, you don't cry? We took our son off to school, off to Florida.
Right.
I'm looking at my wife the whole time. I'm like, look, what's wrong with you?
Speaking of that situation there, Coach, tell me what your thoughts on this right here. You have a kid in a program, and for whatever reason, his son was at a particular school we won't mention, but they wanted to change him from running back. Kid had been playing running back the entire time, and they wanted to flip him over to linebacker.
Yeah.
And you had some players over there on that side of the ball too, and this was done last minute. What are your thoughts on that? Because I advised him, me personally. I said, man, listen, don't let him give up on his dream. If he wants to play running back, coach, I want to play running back. I'd rather try to keep battling and blah, blah, blah. But it got to a point where he ended up taking his kid out of that particular school and
taking him back home to Florida.
Back to Florida. Kid ended up running, I don't know how many yards, touchdowns there. What are your thoughts on that? Parents doing what's best for their child.
And like I said, that happens, and there's nothing wrong with parents wanting to have better for their kid. And that's different than one school getting 15 move-ins.
Right.
That's different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a different feel of every situation is different. So whatever the situation was at that school that they wanted him at linebacker, the coaches felt like that's where they needed him. Right. But as a parent, if that's not something that he wanted to do, or y'all thought was the best interest of that kid, then by all means, there's two sides of it now. There's two sides of it. You can say the kid's got to stay. Well, actually, no, he doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't. You don't own him. We don't own anybody. Right. But at the same time, if the situation, if you don't like it and you want to change it, parents have the right to move.
It's
just
there's
but there are rules to follow.
Right.
If you want to move,
there's a certain way you have to do it.
100%. And if you follow the rules, nobody can, like I said, we lost 2 kids this year who are really good players. I love them to death. I wish them the best. I love their families. They're good kids. They moved for other reasons. I wish them the best. Like that, there was nothing shady wrong, nothing. Right. They felt, one of them felt like he needed to go back home. The other one's mom got remarried and moved on. So there are situations where there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But I think the problem that I have with it is when there's somebody in the back door in his ear, hey, you need to come here. You need to come here.
Right.
That's my issue. The issue is never with parents trying to make a better move for their kids.
Yeah, right.
It's just when somebody's in their ear, you're not, they're treating you wrong, come here. Like that's my issue personally.
Right.
Yeah, because I had a situation and, where, the coach was saying, hey, this kid, we need him to do X, Y, Z. Okay? we were talking earlier about your 6'1" basketball player that's probably, his projection or his ceiling is much higher. 6'1" DB.
Receiver.
6'1", versus, okay, so we had a situation where, you got a kid that he can do all this stuff here. And I'm like, but man, he's not doing nothing that goes along with his height. I know it's maybe best for the program,
Right.
but what's best for him to get out my pocket?
Yeah. I mean, you know how many 6'3", 6'4" power forwards in high school who they play their last athletic event on a team for a school as a senior in basketball when their basketball season's over.
Yeah, that's
6'3", 6'4" power forwards.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
And they should be playing basketball. They can dunk, they can rebound, they hustle, they're really good 6'3", 6'4" basketball players.
Right.
But that same kid at DB, at receiver, at defensive end, you got an SEC. You got an SEC athlete.
Yeah.
I think, but it all comes down to the kid. I know we had a kid one year at JO. He was 6'5", tall, lanky kid, tried to come out and play football his senior year. And he might have developed into a football player, but I told him, I said, look, man, like I love you, and if you want to come out, more than welcome. He went through spring, but I'm not sure that's the best thing for you. As much as I'd love to have you out here, you're a developmental football guy. So I did not feel good about talking him into coming and trying. Now, if he was a bear at Winona, one of those cats that are just elite, you come on because you can sign a scholarship in this thing.
Yeah. Right.
But if you can't, it was kind of like
it's kind of productive. That's what it is.
And I sat down with the coach. I said, look, here's the deal.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
And I explained it to him. I said, if you want to play, I'm not talking you how to play football. I'm the football coach. If you want to come on.
Yeah.
But there was a sense of honesty that I had to have with that kid.
Yeah.
You're a developmental guy.
Yeah.
And so he didn't, and he went on to play basketball, and he signed a scholarship in basketball.
Yeah.
So had he come out with us, not really played much, maybe kind of been okay, gotten hurt, so there's a balance, and I think you got to take each situation differently. They're not all the same.
Right.
No.
They're just not.
No, because you got some, and not saying this kid wasn't a dog, but football wasn't his thing. It wasn't his thing. You got some dogs out there, man, they're just freaks, man. Like they come out there and probably never played down football, but you think they played 2 or 3 years prior.
They could run a slant and catch a fade.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coach, you got a huge one.
Yeah, man.
Come Friday. Okay. Big rivalry game. And I've gone to a lot of Hoover games, a lot of Hoover and Vestavia games. We were talking with Coach Probst, and he was telling us the story about Coach Finley and Coach Anderson getting into a little kerfuffle, exchange of film.
I'm sure.
So you guys not exchanging film now. What does that look like? Are you're scouting? I mean, is it you getting so many games from them? Are you giving them so many? How does this work now?
No, I mean that's not it. Coach Waldrop is a good guy. I've known him a long time when he was at Chelsea and Arab. He's a good guy. He's a really good person. And no, we swap films. There's no ill feelings between him and myself.
Right.
No, he's a really good guy. They've got a really good staff. Wiley McKellar used to be the coach at Vincent and Calera. We've known him a long time, and they've got a lot of really good guys over there. So there's no, and our kids know their kids.
Okay.
They're friends with them. It's not
that's
against each
you know
other.
what I'm saying? They've known each other forever. So yeah, there's a rivalry there. But I mean, they probably don't talk this week.
Yeah.
But if they see each other next week, I mean, they both want to win. Both sides want to win.
Right.
And it's you can act like it's the same as playing somebody else, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Auburn, Alabama is different than Auburn, LSU, or Bama, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It just is.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know that. But at the same time, you got to approach the same way. Whoever's going to make those plays and handle the emotions of the game. We talk all the time about being passionate. You can't play this game emotional. You can't go through life emotional.
Yeah.
When good things happen, you can't go to 10. When bad things happen, you can't drop out at 2.
Yeah.
You got to get back to 7. You got to just stay 7 and handle it. And don't go up all the way up and all the way down.
Right.
You just can't. And especially games like this where the emotions are going to be through the roof. They're 0-2, but I can tell you this, that's the best 0-2 football team I've ever seen.
Right.
And you take a lot of teams in that schedule, they probably 0-2 as well. So you can't look at those schedules.
Right.
You can't.
You got to throw that out the window.
Man, none of it, because those kids have
This
no.
is a
They know how to
rivalry
win.
game too, though. So
It is.
And you
So-
throw all if they was
So the
if they was
records-
2-0.
Correct.
It still didn't matter at this
Correct.
point.
So it's going. The communities are going to get after it. The student sections are going to get after it. So it's going to be a really fun night. We're honoring the city of Hoover leaders, the mayor and the fire department, 911.
What's the game played?
It's
Spain
Spain
Park.
Park.
Okay.
That'll be our place.
Okay.
We got a nice old jumbotron. It's a big old jumbotron. Got to put in, and it's gonna be a nice environment, man.
I'll pick up my tickets at Will.
No, we got it last year.
I'll pick up my tickets at Will.
Hey, let me know if you're coming. I'll get you on the list, man.
There you go.
I know some people.
So, like, in a week like this, what are you preaching to the kids? I mean, you say, it's a rivalry game, and emotions are up there. You don't want this 15-yard for, the second guy gets caught with
every
a penalty.
time.
So, what are you telling the kids about controlling, staying at 7? What are you saying?
Man, I don't know. Look, I tell you what, this group of kids, they are so competitive. We have at least 1 or 2 fights a week in practice.
Wow.
They get after it, and I love it.
I think that's a good thing, man.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
They want to win. When we first got there, we do a lot of competitions, and those kids were so used to losing that they lost. They didn't like it.
No, it don't feel good.
It didn't feel good. They didn't like it, but it didn't make them sick.
Yeah.
These kids lose something in practice, man. They're ready. They're ready to get at it.
Yeah.
Right. And we've got to learn how to balance that.
Right.
There's a line you just can't cross.
Right.
And that's the growth of our team and our program, to have that tenacity where you lose, it is the end of the world.
Yeah.
Then you get over it the next day and move on.
Right. Yeah.
But at that moment,
It's like nothing can happen that's worse than that.
correct. You have to hate it.
Yeah.
And our kids hate losing.
Okay.
So they've got to control their emotions. And I tell our coaches all the time, when there's storms, we got to be the calm. We got to be the calm in the storm. And sometimes our coaches, we got a great mixture of coaches on our staff. We have old, we have young, we have different experiences, different life experiences, different coaching experience. We've got a wide variety of men who lead these kids. And sometimes we got to rein each other in. There's sometimes offensive coaches are competing with the defensive coaches, and the kids feed off of it. And it's a really healthy program right now. And we've got, but Friday night we've got to control those emotions, man. And we can't be emotional. Just be passionate. And when good things happen, when you buy a house, have a baby, you can be on 10. When you lose a job, you go to 2, but you better get back to 7.
We need them at 7, huh?
Because there's a wife and 2 kids at home waiting on you to get back to 7.
Yeah.
Same thing in a game. You score a touchdown, celebrate with each other.
Yeah.
We've had an issue of, if I make a sack, I run 20 yards behind the line and make sure everybody sees me.
Right.
Everybody saw you make that sack.
Yeah.
Right. If they were watching.
But what you didn't see is the guy on the other side of the line that made that quarterback come to you so you could get that sack.
Yeah.
Celebrate with your teammates.
Yeah.
So we're there's a little we talk about it, leaving clues. Leadership and championship teams, they leave clues behind.
Yeah.
Little clues along the way, and those type of clues we're starting to kind of figure out, and it's kind of fun watching it.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
In a game like this, and really any big game, but we're talking about this. Do you expect to see new stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
So what they put on film, you expect to see some different things?
Oh, and look, these games right here, people do something they don't always do. Might have a wrinkle, a trick play that they've set up. I mean, there's no telling, and they're 0-2. So those kids want to taste some success, and who better to have success against
The rivalry.
than daggone Spain Park?
Yeah.
So we know that, and we've got to. I mentioned it earlier. We've got to build our chin, and we've got to be able to withstand those heavyweight shots because they're coming. Hoover is a heavyweight. They throw heavyweight shots. But the way we train 4 days a week is nonstop. We hope we build our chin so we can keep taking those shots and keep swinging. And hopefully in the 12th round, we still got a shot to win it. That's the plan. We got to execute. You don't get do-overs. And if you got a guy open and you can't drop it, you can't overthrow him. You got a chance to make a pick.
Yeah.
Got a chance to recover a fumble. You got to get on it. And
It's just the small things. Got to make them small things
That's
work,
it.
man.
Gene Stallings, I'm an Auburn guy.
Yeah.
But I will quote Gene Stallings. He said something good. He didn't say a lot good, but he
Lord.
he said a couple things good.
I'm not a big Alabama fan, but I like Gene, though.
I'm kidding. No, he's a legend.
like Pat
he's a
Dye,
legend,
too,
man.
though.
Yeah, God rest Pat Dye's soul. But Gene Stallings said, in a big game, there are 4 to 6 plays that make a difference. In those 4 to 6 plays, if you make them, you win
the ball game.
If you don't, you lose. And you never know when those 4 to 6 plays are coming. I told the kids that today. You don't know what play it is that's going to make the difference. Right. But after the game, you're going to go handpick 4 to 5 to 6 plays.
Well, it could have made a difference in that ball
100%.
game. Yeah.
Those other plays don't matter.
Yeah.
It's those 4 to 6.
Yeah.
You don't know when they're coming.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to make that play.
Yeah.
And that's what we keep preaching to those guys. And, you know, our coach is doing a great job preparing them. And, look, it's going to be a heck of an environment. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this.
I'm still mad. Y'all got made me cry.
Come on, Coach, man.
Y'all got me emotional talking about my people in jail, man. I love those people, man. Golly. All right, go ahead. What's next?
Answer those questions.
Come on, man.
Come on, Coach.
So if you expect to see new stuff, you got some new stuff as well.
Well, we're just going to try to, get first downs and put our kids' best position to win. And, we feel like our quarterback can throw it around a little bit. We feel like we got some guys that can run it.
And this is the sophomore.
He is. Brock Bradley's a sophomore. And
okay.
He's a talented guy, and he
Mike, they got a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, man.
He's got offers from Troy, West Virginia, Texas A&M. He's got a chance to be a big time kid. He does, but he's just so well grounded. He hates being wrong, and I light his tail up. Really? I light him up because I tell him you got to handle my heat because on a Friday night when Hoover's defensive end's coming down on 3rd and 3. You got to handle that heat. My heat's nothing.
Right.
So he hates when he's wrong. Oh, man, he hates. It just eats him up. He's a perfectionist, and that's what's going to make him great. That's what's going to make him great. But he's got some kids around him that have a chance to really put themselves on the map. Jamar Jones, they call him Bo. He's a senior. He was at Spain Park. He left, went to Thompson, and this year he came back. His mom moved back in our zone, and I didn't know who he was. The kid said, the administration said, hey, we got a kid moved in, whatever, told me his name. He wants to play football. So I texted our captains. I'm like, hey, guys, this kid's moving back. Who is he? They said, Coach, that's Bo. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know who he is, whatever. Right. He's a receiver, and he's blessed with a lot of talent. Jonathan Bibbs is a senior. He's a 6'2" receiver. He's got some offers. He's got a chance to have a big year. Reggie Jackson's a junior receiver, 6'3", 190. He's got a chance. We got the Shanks brothers at running back. So we've got Andrew Thornton, Mitchell Frazier, Logan Brownlee, Jackson Haygood. We feel like we've got some skilled kids around Brock that can really make him make his talent shown. And because when they get the ball, they can take a 3-yard route and turn it into 15.
Wow.
So we feel like we got a chance. And our kids feel like that. Wow. They're not going to be scared. I don't care who. If Chicago Bears come over there, it don't matter.
Let's play.
They're not going to be scared. Now, I'm not going to say we're going to win every game and it's going to look pretty, but they're not going to get off the bus or walk out of our locker room scared.
The boys going to be ready.
That I can assure you. Now, we just got to go out and do it.
Okay. So, you got any bulletin board material?
Oh, no. No, I'm not.
No. I'm saying, have you gotten any? I know. No. We don't want to. No. We definitely want to put you in that spot because I got some for you if you don't have.
I don't. That stuff matters before kickoff, and maybe the first kickoff and the first play from scrimmage.
Okay. So you
because you're just amped up.
Yeah.
But after that, man, it's who can block better, who can tackle better, who can stay on sides, who can do their job.
How long do you really remember that stuff?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It gives you that good feeling before halftime, or before kickoff. You're just fired up, and you're thinking about the text he sent to your girlfriend, or whatever the bulletin board material is. That lasts about 2 whistles, and after that, you got to play football.
There you go.
So no, we don't. We just don't do bulletin board material. We're not going to build our program off of that. We're in the daggone weight room. That's
building that chin.
That's it.
Yeah, building that chin.
In this region, you have to have a chin.
Right.
Yeah.
Every team in our region has great coaches.
Yeah.
They've got good players, and every one of them can swing.
Yeah.
Every one of them have their favorite punch.
Yeah.
The ones that win have chins.
Right.
And we've got to get that chin. And that's just what I believe.
Wow.
Coach, 3 years from now, where is this program?
Compete for state championship.
Okay.
I don't know when. I don't know. That's the goal.
Right.
I told the people when I interviewed at JL, I told them at Spain Park, and we told the kids at Fairfield early on You know, I'm not going to sit here and promise you results because I can't tell y'all I'm going to make it home to my wife and my kids tonight. Like,
No.
you just can't.
Right.
I can't promise you anything in terms of results, but I can promise you on my last name how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. And I feel like if we do it right and we keep our kids and we develop them and get them to play for each other, there's no doubt that Spain Park is a championship community. They've played for 2 championships. They've gone to the finals twice. They've gone to the semifinals 2 other times. So Spain Park can do it.
Right.
They've been around 20 years, and I think I'm the 7th coach. The last coach, Sean Rainey, is a good friend of mine, did a great job. He was there for 9 years. So you take that out, there's a lot of turnover.
Right.
And Spain Park is a destination.
Right.
To me, that's a destination spot.
Yeah.
It's not a leapfrog. You go there and win. Like, to me, what I feel like I want high school. Like, I'm not a college. That's not who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a destination spot, you know. And I want it just like J.O. I wasn't looking to leave there. God moved me, and here I am. And I feel like we can be a championship program. There's no doubt in my mind. We got the support of community. We got the players. We've got the facilities. I think we've got it all. We've just got to keep working and take the lumps and enjoy the success and love on each other and keep it moving, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Coach, you in a
Don't
particular
make me cry again.
No,
man.
I won't. In a particular player that you look to shine in this game, if you will. You don't have to, but you know, like in a particular player that you make.
I'm not gonna put a target on our kids.
Okay.
I ain't
Okay,
gonna do
gotcha.
it.
I got you.
I feel like our defense has got to play well. The D line's got to play well because they've got some explosive kids on offense.
Right.
Our D line has got to play well. You know,
Right.
if they can run it and throw it at their will, it's gonna be a long night because they've got kids that can catch a 5-yard route, make one move, and take it 80.
Yeah.
You know, so the D line's got to play well. DB's got to keep everything in front of them.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, those kids on offense got to make plays. And hopefully we can push the right buttons and put them in the right spots, and they make us look really smart, and we're really not.
Coach, do you call the plays on offense?
I do.
I got you. I do.
I
How involved are you with the defensive game?
So
plan?
defensive coordinator is David Bush. He came with me from J.O.
Okay.
So we've been together, 3 years at J.O., going on 2 here at Spain Park, and he does a great job. He's surrounded by a room of guys on defense that have been around a while. He's got a couple of young guys who have not, but they've got energy.
Right.
So that room handles itself.
Okay.
And I trust them. We talk about it. He bounces things off, bounces ideas, and a lot of times he'll bounce an idea off of me, and I'll tell him something, and hell, I'm wrong. I'm like, oh, all right, well, never mind. Well, yeah, what you had was right.
Right.
He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the state of Alabama, and I feel like he's a rising star, and hell, I get out of his way. I get those guys on defense. Danny Kimball, he was at Hoover with Probst for a long time. He does a great job with the DBs. Darius Taylor's got the linebackers, played at UAB. Darius Robinson, D-Rob, got the D-line. And then we got a young coach, C.D. Daniels, just got through playing at UAB, cornerback. He's from Homewood.
Homewood, yeah.
Yes, C.D.
Yeah.
He's on our staff. He's got the corner.
Man, he was a heck of a player back in the day.
I mentioned a little while ago about how the coaches talk. Man, he gets under everybody's skin on offense. Coaches, kids, but the kids love him, and so he does a great. So that defense the staff has a great relationship and a lot of knowledge in that room. So if I walk in that room, I'm gonna make them dumber. So I stay out of the room and let Coach Bush handle it, and he does a great job putting it all together. And those guys, they work together, and I was kidding him. They've given up 6 points so far, and 6 was on a block punt. They scored, so the defense hadn't given up any. I said, all right, so let's keep it that way. Let's goose egg these next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Hoover, Thompson, Vestavia, goose egg them. And he just kind of looked at me. That ain't gonna happen. We know that, but they do a great job on defense, and I stay out of their daggone way.
Well, that's a sign of a good coach, man. Letting the people that you empower to do their job. But that's what it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, everybody knows that I'm gonna make the final call.
Yeah.
Whether we do this or that. But at the same time, I lean on these guys because I trust them.
That's right.
And defensively, like I said, when I walk into that room gets dumber.
Yeah.
On defense, right?
Right.
I've been a defensive coordinator before, and I told myself I never want to be a head coach until I call both sides.
Okay.
So I called offense at Fairfield from 02 to 9, and I flipped to defense for 2 years. In 2011, we lost our offensive coordinator like at the last minute, and that's when Pop had a bunch of surgeries. So I actually called both sides in 2011, and it was brutal, right?
Yeah.
So I've been on that side before, but the way the game has changed in the last 12 years on defense.
Oh yeah.
I walk in there and I make them dumb. So I just stay out of the way.
Last thing, Coach, your family.
Yeah, man.
Because I looked on your page. How many kids you have?
I've got 2. I've got a boy who's 10, Sammy, and a girl, Ella, who's 8.
Okay.
10 and 8.
10 and 8, man.
That's
and,
all right, though,
my
Coach.
wife, Alexis, we've been together for a while, and she's from Mountain Brook. She's a little bit younger. Her uncle was Tony Patelis, the mayor of Hoover.
Yeah.
So there's Hoover connections in there, and her dad was a long-time pediatrician in Hoover. So there's, it's a lot of familiarity with her family in the Hoover community that I didn't know about.
Okay.
But no, she's a Greek girl too. So we're both Greek, and we go to the Greek church downtown. And I'm the choir director, and she handles.
Really?
Yeah, man. She handles the Greek dancers.
Coach.
Yeah, man, hey, I'm
slid that in there.
And I'm proud of it. I'm the choir director of my church. So yeah,
Coach,
it is what it is.
Coach, wait a minute. Do you take the mic every now and then and get your own solo in there?
I've done one. One years ago.
Hey, you know what? I would pay to see that. I want to see that more or less. I want to see a football game.
So my grandfather was the choir director for years. And years, it's going on about maybe 9 or 10 years while I'm the choir director. We have my Aunt Lynn, who's a actual musician, that she's a professional.
Yeah.
She kind of teaches the hymns and all that, but I kind of try to keep it all together.
Right.
And I tell them, y'all just sing. Don't watch me. Y'all just sing. Don't look at me. I'll mess you up. Y'all just keep singing.
Yeah.
But no, I tell you,
That's all right.
everybody asks me about pressure, and let me tell you what pressure is. A football game, a 3rd and 3 call is nothing. You're standing in front of a Greek church, all right, on Easter Sunday, the midnight service.
Right.
You got the whole church at midnight. Everybody's facing the back of the church. The whole church is looking at us. We're in the choir loft, and we got to sing a hymn. It's been a few years, so we've got little girls, middle school age girls, up to 90-year-old Greek women, right? When that organ starts to play and it's the wrong note, and we're about to sing the hymn, and I know it's the wrong note, and those women don't sing in a Greek church in Easter service, and they don't start singing because it's wrong. That's heat.
That's some heat.
Like 3rd and 3 on the daggone football game on
That
Friday
ain't got
night ain't
nothing.
nothing. You get in a Greek church on Easter service
On the wrong note.
man. That's heat, and the whole church is looking at you. So I got my back to them, and all the choir's looking at me like this, and I'm like, let's just start. It's wrong, but let's just start.
Yeah.
Nope, ain't starting. That's heat, man. So, I love it, man. I'm proud to be Greek, and we love our church.
Now, I had one more thing. What's with the smashing of the plates? And is that true? Because I know,
It's true.
What did I used to watch? Alice. You might be too young.
I don't know about Alice.
Nell and Alice?
Alice was like the little Mel's Diner.
Yeah, Mel's Diner.
But they had Tony Savalas.
Okay.
Who came through and he was flirting with somebody in there, and his way of applause, that's what he said, was breaking plates.
Yeah, that's a Greek custom. Anytime you go to like a Greek restaurant or bar, they hold it open late and everybody's dancing, and you're gonna break some plates. And,
Really?
yeah, I've Greek danced my whole life. My little son and daughter now Greek dance, but I can't move like I used to. If I'd tried that, they'd be picking me up. So, but no, we Greek danced our whole life, and we always throwing plates and throwing money, and
Right.
yeah, it's fun to be Greek, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good things about
Having
it.
good food, too.
Oh man, I wish my wife would cook more, but we do have good Greek food.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you said your son is what age?
He's 10. He's 5th grader.
Is he playing a little football?
He is. So we live in Helena.
Okay.
And my brother and his family live in Helena. So there's 5 Vakakes grandkids, of my parents. They're all in Helena. So James is the oldest. He's a freshman in Helena High School. Anna Sophia's an 8th grader at the middle school. My son's a 5th grader, Sammy. My godson Peter's 4th grade, and then my girl Ella is a 3rd grader. So they're all in Helena, and he plays a little football, and I try to help him coach. I try to help coach his little team, and that's a blast, man.
I know, right?
Oh man, that's a blast.
Yeah.
I leave our practice. I try to fly to their practices, and sometimes I'm dead tired, but I go out there, man, and just it gives you energy.
Yeah,
chasing around a bunch of fifth graders.
Yeah,
man.
it's funny too. It's fun too.
Yeah.
Do your brother coach any?
No, now he coached with us at Fairfield.
Okay, I remember that.
Yes,
yeah.
he coached at Fairfield with us. And Pop tells a story about being on the headsets. You know, EJ's up in the booth, my brother. I'm on the field with Pop, and just the three of us, man, on that headset. I used to just take mine off. Like, I can't take it. You know, so they asked EJ one time, somebody did an article, they asked him, they said, you know, when they start arguing, talking about me and Pop, like, well, who do you side with? You know, and he says, I side with logic and reason. You know, like he didn't pick a side. He just whoever's logical. That's where he's like, all right, you're right. Okay, no, this time you're right. You know.
Okay.
We used to
that
have
sounds
some
like
fun,
a smart
man.
brother though.
Oh, he's a whole lot smarter than me.
That sounds like a smart brother.
We used to have some fun on those headsets, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, man, this has been fun. Wrap us up, Coach. Talk to your Spain Park student body, your fans, the kids, the players.
You know, the one thing about it, the community, the student section. You know, the football game on a Friday night of a community like Spain Park is more about just the kids on the team. You know, it's the band, it's the dance girls, the cheerleaders, the students. Like, everybody gets to experience that. Right. You know, and we've got the Jumbotron. We've got some things for our kids that make it fun. So I feel like it's going to be a fun atmosphere. We got the youth involved. They come to every one of our games. They got a little hype video that we play on the Jumbotron, so they get to see themselves up there every Friday. And the cheerleaders got a hype video. We got them May 1, and they're playing out on the Jumbotron pregame, just trying to bring everybody involved with the Spain Park community, you know. And Friday night's going to be a heck of an environment. You know, I hope we can make plays and hopefully we can push the right buttons. And, you know, these last couple of weeks, the kids have made us look a whole lot smarter than we are. And hopefully that continues. Right. And hopefully they make up for the mistakes that we make as coaches and that I make, and make some plays and have a little fun. But it's going to be a dogfight. We know that. It's you know, people say they're 0-2 for the first. Man, I don't want to hear any of that. Yeah. None of that matters. They're Hoover. I know they're coaches. They've got some players. So it's going to be a heavyweight fight, and I just hope we're still standing in the 12th round to keep swinging our punches.
Right.
With a strong chin.
We better. If we don't have a strong chin, we're going to get knocked out way before the 12th.
Yeah.
Coach, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. And I love everybody in Birmingham. Birmingham gets a bad rap a lot of times, but there's a lot of good people in that system that do a lot of good things for kids, you know. So I know I got emotional talking about it, but I love that place, and it is what it is.
There you go.
Man, Coach, man, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. It's a pleasure meeting you, baby.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. And I need my tickets at Will Call. I'm going to the game.
I think,
let's do it.
Let's do it. We need to roll out there.
Yeah. I get you sideline passes, all of them. Our principal, Dr. Esslinger, she's tough on sideline passes because she wants to make sure she.
So he's not.
He retired.
Okay.
He retired last May.
Okay.
No, 2 Mays ago.
Okay.
So Dr. Esslinger came in, and she's doing a good job.
Good deal.
But she tries to keep the sidelines clean and free, which is fine.
Yeah.
So if you're coming, you know, and I'll tell you this, you got to make a deal. If the plays we call ain't working, man, come grab the headsets. All right? There's a good chance what we do ain't working because I'm not real smart. Come grab the headsets and make some calls, man. If we need some help, I'm going to give you the old relief.
Okay.
Come on. Come call some plays,
I
man.
got you, Coach.
All right.
Man, but I think you'll do fine, man. I think it'll be a ball game, man.
Yeah.
And somebody wins, somebody lose, but it'll be a ball game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it, man.
That's why I came to Spain Park, to be a part of these type of moments, these type of games, these type of atmospheres. And let's get out there and turn this thing into a 48-minute street fight and see who wins.
That's
See
it.
what happens. See what happens. Mike, you tell us where they can view it and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. This video, you can catch it on FSH. Did I say FSH? HS. High School Sports Covered and Uncovered.
There you go.
Podcast on YouTube. You can catch us there. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter. That's pretty much it right now, though. Right. Facebook and Twitter. And HSCU.
I got to say,
podcast.
Hoover Toyota is our big sponsor.
Okay.
So we have a broadcast team. Y'all know Jocks, 94.5.
Yeah, we know Jocks.
3-man front, Landrum Roberts. He's our play-by-play guy. I think he's out of town this week, but all of our games are broadcast live on Hoover Toyota's Facebook page.
Oh, man, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So you can go to Hoover Toyota's Facebook page and watch every one of our games. It's a broadcast that's very professionally done.
Wow.
You can watch anytime our people can't come.
It's just all audio, right? Or is it video too?
It's live stream.
Live stream?
We got
Word.
We got commentators. I mean, it's like watching on ESPN. They got commercials. They got all of it. We started that at JO. We kind of did that at JO
So
too.
are they streaming through FHSC?
No, NFHS Network.
NF
No.
Oh, NF
It is, but it's free.
Okay.
We don't charge, so you can go on that site and watch it.
Yeah.
But Hoover Toyota Facebook page.
That's awesome, man.
Is one of our big sponsors, and you can check.
That's good information you just gave
man.
these people, man.
So any of our Spain Park people who aren't here, out of town, whatever, they can hop on and watch every one of our games live.
Yeah. All right, Coach, man, thank you again, man. Hey, that's great information, and I'm looking forward to Friday. You doing your thing.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having us. Go Jags, man.
No doubt.